win, go win, go win, go win, go win, man, go win.
Let's stay in the NFL. Let's go to the AFC East and let's talk about the New England Patriots. As the Patriots, they won the AFC East last season. They finished the season 14-3, and they reached the Super Bowl. And the Seahawks, they beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl 29-13. And in the NFL, it's interesting because we always talk about after a team wins the Super Bowl, we always talk about how a team would perform the following season, defending their Super Bowl championship. But we don't really talk enough about the team that lost that Super Bowl the year prior. And usually the team that loses the Super Bowl, normally they regress the following season. We saw it a couple years ago. Chiefs, they get blown out in the Super Bowl by the Eagles. The Eagles blew them off the field that game. Eagles beat the Chiefs 40-22. Chiefs, they struggled last season, didn't make the playoffs. Mahomes gets injured, season over for the Chiefs, right? So I believe we are trending towards a similar fate for the New England Patriots in the 2026 NFL season, because I believe that the New England Patriots, they were significantly overrated last season. I'm looking at the New England Patriots, and the New England Patriots, when you look at them overall as a team last year, it was the easiest overall schedule by any NFL team since the 1999 St. Louis Rams. Statistically, it tied for the third easiest strength of schedule recorded in the last 50 seasons. Also, let's look at their path to the Super Bowl. In the wild card round, they beat a Chargers team without their starting two offensive tackles in Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater. In the divisional round, they beat a Texans team without their top two targets in Nico Collins and Dalton Schultz. And CJ Stroud played awful in that playoff game. In the AFC Championship game, they faced a Broncos team without the services of their starting quarterback in Bo Nix. And in the second half of the AFC Championship game, it was a blizzard. It was a blizzard. And so when I look at the New England Patriots from last season, I believe they are the team that will regress this particular season. And I know they made some offseason moves that I like. They traded for A.J. Brown. I love that for Drake May, because I believe that was the one weakness that the Patriots had last year offensively. They didn't really have a true number one receiver. You now have that with A.J. Brown. Make no mistake about it. A.J. Brown is a top 10 receiver in the NFL. And so I love the fact that the Patriots made a big-time move trading for A.J. Brown, and now A.J. Brown is paired with Drake May, and so Drake May has a number one receiver to throw the football to. And I do love their head coach as well. I think Mike Vrabel is a great, and I don't use that word often, but he's a great NFL head coach. I believe Mike Vrabel, his name deserves to be in that conversation with the Andy Reids of the world, the Jim Harbaughs of the world, the Sean Paytons of the world, the Sean McVays of the world. Mike Vrabel's name deserves to be in that conversation. There was a lot of turmoil going on in New England in the offseason. It's the reason why Robert Kraft and the Patriots kept Mike Vrabel as their head coach. But I just feel like the Patriots were significantly overrated last season. They were overrated last year. And to me, the writing is clearly on the wall that this team will take a step backwards, and they won't be a team that we're going to consider a favorite to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. Last year, it was clear that the Super Bowl was the NFC Championship game. The Rams-Seahawks, that was a Super Bowl last season. It wasn't the Patriots and Seahawks, because it was clear that the Seahawks were a significantly better team than the Patriots were. And so I felt like last year, had the Broncos had Bo Nix, it would have been the Broncos representing the AFC and playing the Seahawks in the Super Bowl last season. The only reason why the Patriots were in the Super Bowl was because Bo Nix got injured against the Bills, and the Broncos, they had to start Jarrett Stidham. Okay? That's why the Patriots were in the Super Bowl last year. But even in that game, Drake May, he didn't perform well. Which leads me to the other thing that I want to discuss when it comes to the Patriots. Last season, Drake May, 31 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 4,394 passing yards, completing 72% of his passes. Drake May also finished second in NFL MVP voting. And I believe he had a terrific sophomore season in the regular season. But in the playoffs last year, I felt like Drake May did not play to his standard, and the standard that he had set in the regular season, he didn't play at that standard in the postseason. This is Drake May's stats in the regular season comparing to the postseason, right? In the regular season, Drake May, his touchdown to turnover ratio was 35-11. In the playoffs, it was 7-8. Drake May, in the regular season, he had 285 total yards per game. In the postseason, he had 252 total yards per game. Drake May, he completed 72% of his passes in the regular season. In the postseason, he completed 58% of his passes. In the regular season, Drake May, his passer rating was 113.5. In the postseason, it was 82.2. And the thing is, in the AFC playoff matchups, I believe the other quarterbacks that Drake May went up against, they just had worse playoff performances than he did. I mean, in the playoff win over the Chargers, Herbert couldn't even put together a touchdown drive. In the playoff win against C.J. Stroud and the Houston Texans, that Texans defense did everything they possibly could to help the Texans pull off an upset. But C.J. Stroud turned into the worst quarterback in NFL history, and I didn't think Drake May played particularly well in that playoff win over the Texans. And then in the AFC Championship game, Drake May only had one touchdown drive. He only had one real touchdown drive. In the second half, it was a blizzard. And Drake May went up against Jarrett Stidham in the AFC Championship game. So in the AFC playoffs, I just feel like those other quarterbacks, they played terrible in Justin Herbert, C.J. Stroud, and Jarrett Stidham, and Drake May just had to manage the game for the Patriots. But in the Super Bowl, Sam Darnold outplayed Drake May. He outplayed Drake May. So I personally believe the Patriots as a football team were overrated, and Drake May as a quarterback was significantly overhyped and overrated as well. Now, I do believe Drake May has a lot of promise. I believe Drake May, heading into his third season in the NFL, he is the successor to Tom Brady in New England. Okay, let me be very, very clear. Drake May is a franchise quarterback that you can build your team around. But I just don't think Drake May proved enough last season to be ranked above quarterbacks like Jared Goff or Jordan Love or Baker Mayfield or Brock Purdy or Jalen Hurts. I have to see more from Drake May in his third season in the NFL before I can say that Drake May is an elite quarterback. I think Drake May has a ton of promise. I think Drake May had a great sophomore season last year. He even had a better season than Caleb Williams, because they hyped Caleb Williams as well. But I think Drake May had a better season last year than Caleb Williams had. But I still think Drake May has a lot of room for growth. Having A.J. Brown now as his number one receiver will help. And having Mike Vrabel as his head coach will also help him in his development as a quarterback. Okay? So I just think I got to see more from Drake May. But I think the Patriots will be on the outside looking in the playoffs picture once we get into January. And I do believe the Bills will win the AFC East. I think the Patriots will finish somewhere between 9-8, 8-9-ish, but they will not be a playoff team in the AFC.